Welcome to another Zenstream. So I can see Hannah has joined us and she's commented in there. Hi Hannah, good to see you yet again. Brilliant. So this is the third Zenstream that we've done. We covered email designer last week, and then the week before that we covered funnels, and that was a 2-hour workshop. This one's fairly big. It's all about automations. So automations are used in a lot of places, not just on Zenler but in other platforms as well. It's like one of the key things. Automating tasks that happen within your courses or your membership site is really important because it means that you don't have to be there. So if you've got a fully automated site, it can literally run itself with you just administering it and answering questions or those sort of things, and it means that you can be productive and get on with other parts of your life and your online business as well. So it's really, really important. So what I've done for you today is I've actually recorded 3 parts. So the first part is all about what automations are about. So I briefly covered it there, but this goes into a bit more detail. Then the second part, so I'll stop, I'll come back live. Got any questions, you can ask them. We're streaming to both YouTube and to Facebook today. So you're on both channels. So you have the chance, so if you're a YouTuber, to get on there, or Facebook, our group community, you can get on here. We're doing this on a Saturday today at 3 p.m. BST time, which is about 11 EST time. So a good time to do it. It's Saturday. I'm trialing different days around Friday, Saturday, Sundays to see which has got the most traction and which is the one that most people come into. So it's just a trial there. So we got content 1, recorded content exclusively for you, is about what automations are about. So then we'll move on with a little break. You ask questions. We'll move on to content 2, which is actually about automations itself. It's the biggest part of the workshop for sure, because it's actually implementing. So we're going to cover everything. We're going to go through the rules. We're going to go through the actions. The actions are the actual automations, the emails. We're going to be covering send, the notify, the tag, the remove tag, web hooks slightly. We're going to just show you what they're all about if you're unfamiliar with them, because it might be a useful thing for you to know even if you don't actually use them. And then the final part, recording number 3, is going to be on advanced filters, because advanced filters are really cool, and I'll give you a couple of case scenarios. There's probably 1,000 uses for filtering. What is great about this workshop today is, although I'm showing you automations in a course, you'll see that actually automations work in exactly the same way, and Hannah, I know you know this, exactly the same way inside of lives, inside of marketing funnels. So you don't have to relearn anything, it's all there, and bundles as well, so bundles that you drop courses in. And the advanced filtering is used in loads of places as well, in funnels, in lives, in courses, in email broadcasts. Okay, so they're used throughout. So you've only really got to look at one section and learn how it works and the principles behind it, and that's why I'm focusing on courses. And then you understand all of it. You know, you become a guru. And you know, Hannah's put there always star stuff in here, so that's good. I'm glad you're liking it, Hannah. So we're going to get on with recorded content 2. So remember, this content is not too long. I'm going to stop. If there's any questions, ask questions, because it is recorded. So if you're putting questions in the chat, I can get on it there and then. I can answer you straight away. It means like I'm an octopus or I'm cloned, which is really cool. So you can ask your questions and I can answer them as we're going along. Okay. So in next topic, best freebies practices. Oh yeah, that's a really cool one. So covering the marketing side, and I think I'm learning in a way with these Zenstreams is not to put too much information, but also not to make it unfinished. It's a really hard balancing act between getting too much information and making it unfinished. So Hannah, what you're saying in next week, which we might do, is best practices for freebies, and showing you how freebies can be done and given out, and why sometimes you might not want to be doing freebies, and other times why you might want to be doing them. And that would be quite a nice one, because maybe I can get some input from you as well, what you guys are doing as well, just to sort of see your sort of targets and things like that. That would be covering in a kind of marketing side. So I want to do media. I also want to do OB. I'll talk about it all at the end when we're finishing. We need to get on with automations. Let's get stuck in and watch the first part. There's no freebies given out today like I normally do, Hannah. Funny you should ask. So we're going to get on with the recording, and here we go. So enjoy this first part. I'll come back, ask questions in the chat. And good to see you, Camille. Brilliant. So we got Camille on Facebook. Excellent. If you want to put your name in there, if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, that's cool. But let's get on with the first part, which is all about what automations are about and how they work inside Zenler. Welcome. So first part, what are email automations inside of Zenler? So email automations allow you to automate the communication between you and your users of your site. These are automatic actions that happen when you are not physically there. Okay, so automations can be set up by you, but Zenler already has some system automations already built into the system. So knowing about all of these will make sure that you have full control over what your students see or the actions applied to them. So before we look at these automations and the rules, the actions that you can set, we need to look at the system emails that are shipped with Zenler. These are actions based on the following. Okay, so what I'm saying to you here is that in Zenler itself, it has system emails, and they are automations. So for instance, when someone signs up for a course, they will get an email, an automatic email. They will get an email if they unsubscribe. They will get an email if they need to reset their password. These automatic automations are generated by Zenler itself, but it doesn't stop there. You're not stopped from changing the look and feel of those emails when they go out. Now at the moment we're looking at system emails. Okay, so we're not even touching manually setting up your own automations at this stage. We're just covering the system emails. And why am I covering the system emails? Because it is something that people forget to do. So knowing and having control over the automatic system emails that go out based on certain criteria is going to be your first step. So after you know where the system emails are, how you can change the wording, how you can add your own branding in there, we can then move on to the next step, which is actually setting up automations for things like course enrollments, things like lives, and funnels. So once you know those system emails, we can then move on to manually setting up yourself. Now, with the system emails, if you are setting up your own automations in the site, you'll want to turn off the system emails. But what a lot of people don't understand is when you turn off system emails, a lot of those system emails will still go out, but not related to courses. So you're expected, if you turn off system emails, to create automations for your courses. So you need to make the decision whether you want to set up manual automations inside your courses or you do not. If you do not wish to do this, you wish to leave the system emails on. If you do want to have full control, then of course you'll want to turn off system emails for the courses. But this doesn't stop all system emails going through. So it's really important that you get familiar with the system emails and you brand it how you like. So let's have a look now where the system emails are and how you can edit them and go through all of the system emails so you can see exactly what goes out when students enroll, unsubscribe, all these kind of things. So let's jump in now and have a look at that. Okay, so I'm in a site now. I'm going to jump to site here, and once I've closed this down, we're going to then go to where our system emails are. So you're going to notice that you have lots of settings in here under site, and we want to get to our system emails. So if you go to site, and on the left hand side, yeah, I know it says language, but language is to do with what's in the emails going out, so it makes sense when you think about it. So we're going to click languages there, and language normally gives you the ability to change the language of your site. So for dynamic fields, you can put your own language in there and it'll fill out. But what we're looking for is down here, system emails. Let's click and open this, and you're going to see that you have a drop down, select an email type. So let's click here and open this up and have a look what system email is going out by default. So you have course enrollment success. So this is when someone buys a course from you. It's a success email that they've bought the course, and it says for the free plan. So if you have any free plan set up, this is the email they will receive. Now we have another one for course enrollment success, subscription plan with trial days. Okay, so this is a subscription, but if you put trial days, they're going to get the same email here. Now you also have another one here, enrollment success on paid plans as well. Okay, so we have the welcome email. This is the one that goes out if someone registers for the site. We have the reset password email. We have user role change. So if you change one of your users from a lead to a student or a student to an affiliate, this is the email they will get. Enroll to a course manually by admin. So if you enroll them manually in the system, which you can do, this is the email they will get. If they cancel their subscription, this is the email they will get. And notification to complete recurring payment. So if they have a recurrent payment and it doesn't go through, this is the email they will get, a notification to complete the recurring payment. Okay, so notification on course subscription cancellation due to payment failure, and this is quite a big one because people come back to this all the time. So this is something, if you have a payment failure happen on a subscription, then this is the email they will get. Okay, so we have a notify affiliates on commission payouts, so this is in here as well. We have registration success on a paid plan, so this is live classes. This is to do with live classes if they paid for that in there. We also have live interactive webinar registration success as well on the paid plan. So you can see there's quite a lot of different emails in here that will go out automatically. But the great thing about Zenler is that you can customize them so they can include all your branding and everything else in the system. So to change something, it's really easy, guys. You just hit the email that you want to change and you're going to see it all come up in here. Now look, it is very boring because it's purely to make the thing work. So you've got like hi student's name, then thanks for signing up with the school. The name of your site, of course, is the school name. You got down here the URL of the school name, so whatever it is, support.newzenler.com, or if you've got a custom domain, that will appear in there. You've got the student's email address that goes in there. You've got their user role, so if they've signed up as a student, then they will get that. If they've signed up as a lead, they will get lead in there. If you have set up a password, please reset. So you've got a password reset link, and you can log into your school login there. So it's just a welcome email to your site. Of course, you know, it's very kind of worded in a way that's very simple, that just gets the job done, but you can edit it. So you can put your logo inside here. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to do a carriage return here, and I'm going to put the little cursor in position, and we can click image, and then I can choose an image if I've already got one on here, which I have. I'm going to click that. There he is. So generally you'd make sure this is the right size, but that's going to be okay. So now I've added that logo, my branding logo, into this email. Now also think about what you're going to write, because you might want to change the way that it looks. You can send a test to yourself down here as well, and you'll notice that there are mandatory fields that if you've got to have the student's email in there, otherwise you won't be able to save it. But if I save this now like this, I can save it, and now I could do a test send to myself, but I've got my logo in there. So you would be expected to change this information a little bit. If you want to change the school out, if you've got the school name, you want to word it differently, you could change that and actually put text in there if you wanted to. You've got all the personalizations here. You might want to change this, put some emojis in or something, I don't know. You can do whatever you like, but this is the system email for this. So now that I've saved it, you'll notice that if I go back into here and I change this to password reset, if I go back to the welcome email, now I've got my nice logo in there. So I've branded it. So I would expect you to go through all of these and add your own voice to these messages. Always test them in here, and always keep an eye on the mandatory fields that you need to have with the system emails. Another little quick tip, if you want to put your logo in lots of emails, go back to the original one, select this, go Control-C to copy, and then what you can do is you can go through these very quickly. So I can do a carriage return here, put this up, drop that in there, do a line break there and save it, and then I can move on to the next one. So by copying and pasting, I can go through these relatively quickly here. So if I put this in here, you'll see that that will go in there quickly like that. And let me just do a return break there and paste that in there and bring that up and then save it, and you see I can work through these system emails very, very quickly. So these are what go out, and you need to pay attention to this, because some of these emails, when you're testing as a student, even if what you should do is test everything you're doing, but as you're testing things, you might not see some of these emails. So it's really important that you go through them all and you send a test to yourself and just look at the way they look, okay, just to make sure. So it's easy to send a test to yourself. You just enter your email in here and hit test, send test, and you can have a look at them. But you want to go through all of these system emails and make them your own, okay? So make sure you change all of them, okay, even though some of the course enrollment ones we're not going to be doing, because we're going to be taking over the automations ourselves. So this is the system emails inside of Zenler. You go to site, you go to languages. So let's do that again. Let's go to site, go to languages, scroll down here, click this, and there we can select our system emails inside there. So these are automations that go out and that ship with Zenler, but you need to be going in there and putting your brand and your own voice to all of those emails that are under system emails, okay? So this is the first big thing that you should be doing. Right, so the next part of this is going to be to actually look at the automations themselves. So we're going to look at all the functions that you can do when you're manually setting up your own automations. Now, if you are setting up your own automations for courses, it's important that you turn off the system emails. Now, I mentioned this before, when you turn off system emails, lots of the emails will still go out. So you need to make sure that you're customizing all those system emails, because things like the password reset, the reoccurring payment, these kind of emails, these will still go out. Turning system emails off does not turn them all off. It just turns the ones related to course sign-ups, okay, and the automations around that. So to turn off system emails, let's jump back in and have a look. Okay, so under the dashboard, we're going to go across the site again, and this time we're going to go across to notification status. You're going to notice that you have this enable welcome emails. Let's just go over the question mark here. System generated welcome emails for course site sign up will not be automatically sent if disabled. Okay, so if disabled, we assume you will be using automations to handle this, which is what we're going to do today. So if this is checked and on, we want to be disabling this. Now, don't do it if you haven't set up your automations. Just be careful. We're doing this from scratch, so it would be on. But if you haven't set your system emails up, do not do this until you have. Then we're going to disable it by clicking here. Okay. Now we can go into the course and start to set up our manual automations for our courses. And I'm going to show you that the automations are held in the live section here. Automations are held in marketing funnel. Email automations are set in the courses themselves. These are the three main areas. Okay, so they all alter very slightly with the actions that you can apply to them, but it's the same process. It's exactly the same process. So I only really need to show you automations in a course for you to understand how automations work in both the live and your marketing funnels. Okay, I don't need to show you all three sections. Okay, let's do this. Okay guys, so that was a little bit about system emails. It's really important. There's a lot of people, probably most people, haven't even played around in the system emails, put their logo in there, given it their own voice. So it's really important that you go through all those emails, even if you're taking over control of the course enrollment emails and sign up emails. Even if you're doing that in a course, you still need to go in there and format all of those. Okay, just because one, you can copy and paste like I showed you, so it's quick to do, but it's also giving it your own voice as well. And if later on you decide to turn off course automations, then you could just turn them off and then they would take over. But you've got to remember that if you turn off course automations, the automations inside each course will still run unless you pause them. And you're going to see about that later, about pausing, making live, and all those sort of things. But that's probably one of the key things people forget to do, is actually to go into the system emails for even things like password reset. You know, these are emails that are being sent out to your students, and these are emails also that you might not get, because like, who's testing whether what they get when they unsubscribe? Do you know what I mean? Like, who's testing how, what email you get if you reset your password? You know, it's not something familiar that you would test for. You obviously would always test for your courses, but this is something that you might not see because you don't do those. You know, you're checking your course automations because you've got them all set, but you might not even realize that the system email is going out because you haven't unchecked that system email send out. And we have had that on the Facebook group numerous times, where why are my students getting a welcome email, course enrollment email, and then an email from my automations? And it's like, well, you didn't turn it off, did you? And they're like, no, I didn't. So, and they haven't formatted it either. So you've got to be careful about these things. You've got to be, I mean, we can design a system that allows, you know, to be really flexible and really powerful, but you still need to understand these basic things that are going on in the system. So that's the whole point of today's Zenstream, is basically just to educate you on that. It doesn't take a lot. As long as you've got it in your head, then you know what's going on, and then you can refine and learn as you go forwards. Now we got Billy on. Billy Wiggly, good to see you. Way. So good to see you, mate. He's said that with the advent of ChatGPT, he's able to do his system emails a lot quicker. So, so yeah, it does help. But the thing is, don't rely too much on ChatGPT. I mean, it will produce copy, but you need to make sure it's your own voice, your own words. Especially as you are very distinctive, Billy. You don't want it to sound like AI robot, certainly, because that's your plus, that's your UPS, is your personality. And if you take that away by putting it into ChatGPT, then you are not doing yourself a service. So by the way, ChatGPT, let's just go off subject a little bit. You can get ChatGPT to actually mirror the kind of way that you write. If you write a big long blog article, put it into ChatGPT and say, right, use my writing style for this, and then give it something else, and it will try and do your same writing style. Try it out, it's really cool, and it does work. So make sure also that you will put personalization in. Don't just use ChatGPT, take the text and put it in there. You need to put the personalization in there, because it needs to be going to the course URL. It needs to have certain things going in there for the student to get. So be very careful always test it. If that personalization is missing, make sure that it's in there. So we've talked about system emails. We told you how to turn it off. So we now go into showing you how the automations work. So this is the longest part of the Zenstream by far, because we're going to cover all of it. And you'll pull something out of it, whatever happens. I see Billy's put some things on there. Also, Hannah put some stuff on here as well. So she's understanding these things as we're going through. So yeah, okay. So Hannah's saying it's kind of the same as email broadcasts. Yeah, it kind of is. Except the system emails, they're very basic and they're kept very basic, but a very good reason. Plain text emails get through to people's inbox a lot easier than, or a lot more often than emails that have got a ton of graphics in them. So just be careful. So you keep them nice and plain and they'll work for you. So Billy said exactly. Yeah, so he's using it. Got it. ChatGPT. Yeah. Aloha. Yeah, good. Right, well, looks like a change since here. Good. Okay, brilliant. Right, let's move on to the second part now, which is all about automations. It's by far the longest part of the Zenstream. So there's a lot of information in here. If you don't take it all in, please just watch on the replay and just recap on bits. I've tried to do it as slowly as I can and focus on the most important parts, which is the send mail side of things. And tagging as well. We do cover the last section of the recording, which is all about advanced filters. So you guys will love that. I know Hannah knows about advanced filters, but Billy, I don't know if you're utilizing them, but this could be a real eye-opener for you. So let's go in and look at the automations. Enjoy. I'm here. You type questions in, I'll answer them on both YouTube and Facebook, because we're streaming to both today. So enjoy. Okay, so let's have a look at automation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into courses. I'm actually going to create a new course so you see exactly what you see when you create a new course. I've already got some automation set up in these two courses. So I'm going to click in here and I'm just going to call this automations. Okay, just for the sake of this, I'm going to run through this really quickly. I'm going to create the course, create all the pages and curriculum and everything else. And the place we want to look in, by default, this is what will happen for you with courses. We're looking at the courses and the automations in the courses. But remember that I told you the same process is the same for marketing funnels and lives. So we will have a quick look at marketing funnels and lives, but we're going to spend most of our time just in the automation for courses. So let's click the automations tab, and what you're going to see is you're going to see this comes up. So you can see you can set up, schedule a sequence of actions, emails, taggings, or webhook dripped over days, hours, or on a specific date. When a trigger happens, e.g. when someone enrolls for your course or completes a course, you must have the feature for onboarding, engagement, nurturing, and upsells. So this is what you need to have as a course creator. You must have this feature for onboarding, engagement, nurturing, and upsells. So that's why it's included inside Zenler, as it is with most other platforms. But make sure it is, because Zenler has got a suite of these automation rules. So first of all, you can see that we have here automation rules here, and this is basically, if you think of it as think of it as a curriculum. Like in a curriculum, you have a section and you put lessons in the section, yeah? So you can create sections and then you can create a lesson inside that section, yeah? So it's underneath. Well, this is kind of the same for automations. You have these rules, and then inside the rules, so let's imagine rules are sections, and inside those rules we have lessons, or what we call for automation actions. So you have a rule and then you have an action, and the action applies the email or the automation or whatever you set up for that action. Okay, so you can see this is broken up into two. This is broken up to on enrollment, that's the rule, and this one here, this rule, is on course completion. Okay, so none of them are live yet, but when we click once in here, you're going to see it will open up. So if I open this one up as well, you can see, but you can see this little red button there says pause, and that's because it's paused. It's not live yet. We need to go in and edit this and change it. So by default, Zenler has put some information into each of these to sort of show you how to set it up, but we're going to kind of bypass that. I'm just going to show you what you do, because it'll be a lot easier for you. So to edit any of these, we can just click this little pencil icon here, and we can also view detailed views about the email. So you might click in here or run a report, which you can also do from over here, to find out how many emails have been delivered, opened, clicked, unsubscribed, or they've bounced. So that means they've hit a mailbox, and either that doesn't exist, so it's pushed it out, their mailbox could be full and then it would just bounce and bounce out, or the configuration could be set up wrong for their email, and again it could bounce. So there's a variety of reasons why emails do bounce. It doesn't necessarily mean that that email doesn't exist, it just means that maybe their mailbox is full or something, or they've bounced your email because they've only got certain people that are allowed into their mailbox. There's a lot of reasons why emails can bounce. Obviously you can see if they unsubscribed, if they clicked into the email, open the email, if they clicked any of the links in the email, and of course if it's delivered. So it's pretty easy to see what's going on with each of the automations. So you'll see again, if I close these up, you have these actions inside of this rule. Okay, so imagine, like I said about courses, imagine this being a section and these being lessons in the section, as it were, but we call them rules and actions. Okay, so to edit any of these, all we need to do is click the edit action. Now as soon as I click the edit action, it's going to allow us to go into any of these. So I've only got to click the pencil icon on one of these. It doesn't matter, even if I'm editing this one here, I could click the pencil icon here, and you'll see when we go into it that I can just open this up and still get to that first email anyway. So you see now we've opened this up, we've got a WYSIWYG editor, or we've got all the edit actions on the right hand side. Okay, again, let me just show you again. If we go into automations, again, you can open any of these up, click the pencil icon, and you are into that action that's within that rule. Okay, so if I click this one, I would be editing this one. If I click down here and I edited this one, I could edit this one. So it's really easy to work with, and it's all laid out very clearly, just like a curriculum, just like a course. You can just work your way through. So we'll have a look at this side now in detail, and then we're going to have a look at these actions that you can apply here for that, and I'll also have a look at the rules as well. Now on the rules, you've got enroll, so when they enroll, you've got this one on course completion, or on course complete. You've also got another rule here on lesson complete as well. So you can also send an email when they complete a lesson. This is really important. So I'm going to drop that one in. I'm just going to click that. That rule is going to be set up here. Notice that it hasn't got a name for that rule, so I'm going to call it lesson completed. Okay, and we'll just put that there, and we'll just click save. Now when we click save, notice down here we've got a lesson. We've got to pick a lesson from the course. So you need to have lessons in there. So when they finish this untitled section, lesson 1, I can apply it there. So when they complete that lesson, the emails can go out from that lesson. So that's the rule for that. So remember, in the curriculum, we only have one lesson inside here. Yeah. If I add another lesson in here, let's just call this lesson 2. Click save. Okay. So now if I jump back in the automations and I go to this rule in here, let's just go to edit automation rules, and we can select that lesson. So it's opening up the whole curriculum to me, and I can select which lesson on completion the email gets sent out to. So that is rules in a nutshell. You've got 3: on enroll, on course completion, on lesson completion. Okay, so I don't need this one because it is self-explanatory when I start to tell you about this. In fact, I'm not even going to have the course completion. Now notice that I have the bin icon, and I can also clone them here, but I'm going to delete this one out as well because I don't even need this. I'm just going to make it really simple and keep it all inside here. Okay, let's click this first one here and have a look at it. So now we've looked at what the rules are, we can see that we've got actions in here. Now, as I said to you before, when you first go into a course, it'll set up a pre-made couple of the things for you. So you'll have this one here, send a mail, access instructions, and then you've got them to revisit the course after a drip. Now, when you first do this, it's going to give you some information inside here, but you're going to want to delete this block out. It's just telling you what it is. So it gives you information in here. We're going to go through this anyway, but definitely read through that if you're not used to it. So we're going to take that block away. So I'm just going to select it and just delete it out. So now I've deleted it out, you're going to see this is a standard content, so you can make this fit your particular need. Now we've also got personalization settings in here. Now as this is the first email, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through what this is. So we can see this is access instructions for email. Well, I'm going to change this and I'm going to call it welcome to this course on automations. Now nobody sees this, so I could just put welcome to this course because no one actually sees this. And when I save this, it's going to update this line in here. It's okay, nobody will see this. This is just the action name. Okay, now this one here, action, this is send mail action. You can see here. So if I picked add a tag, the action would be called add a tag. Now with all of these, you can mouse over this little question mark and it will tell you what it's all about. So you can automatically send someone a mail based on triggers. You can drip delay this email or have it on a particular date, e.g. if someone completes a purchase course and has a tag and so on. So this is what these two are for. So I'm now going to just update this and you're going to see this will change to welcome to this course. Let's click save. You need to remember to do this each time you do it, okay? It's really important that you do that. Now you won't have this problem, but I've just got to change this over because it's not allowing a Zenler address in here. So let me just click save. We're not going to, whenever you click save, it's going to come up with this action is currently paused. Do you want to make it live? Well, we're still editing, so I'm going to click no. Okay. But now this has changed. Welcome to this course because you changed it in here. So now we're going to move down to the next part, and this is when, or the delay of when this will fire. So you've got after, and then remember at the end here it's got from enrollment. So if they enrolled on the, say, the 1st of June, okay, you could say after enrollment, if they've joined on the 1st of June, you could set this to day 1, and this would be sent out on the 2nd of June. So from enrollment, 1 day later. If I put 0 in here, I can do 0 days, 0 minutes, 0 weeks, 0 hours. It doesn't matter. It's still going to be from enrollment and it's going to go out straight away. Now, as a rule of thumb, what I like to do is I always like to put a minute. So they've paid for the course and then this email goes out 1 minute after they've paid for the course. It's just what I do. Okay, you can put it on 0 if you want, but I always like to give them a little bit of time, especially if you've got extra things going on in here like adding tags and things. At least it all gets set up. So I always put a minute in here, but you don't have to. You could put 0. Remember, whenever you make a change in here, come down here and click save changes. Again, this will come up. It's currently paused. Do you want to make it live? No, I'm still editing, so I'm going to click no. And then we're going to move down further. So you know that from enrollment, you can actually set days, weeks, hours from enrollment, or you can click on. So if you have a particular course going out on the 1st of June, you could set an email to go out and say you weren't going to start that course till a week later. You could actually set a date in here and you can pick it using the calendar. So for instance, we could do it if they were joining on the 1st of June, I could pick the week later. I could pick the 7th of June or something, you know, and that would be good for me then. So I could pick there. So that would go out then. You pick your time zone. Obviously you pick the time zone you're in. And now if they signed up, if I got everybody to sign up on the 1st of June, this will go out on the 6th or the 7th. So a week later. So you can set it on a day if you want as well. So I'm going to put this back to 1 minute from enrollment, and from name, you probably want to put in your school in here. Let's just call it Zenler, Zenstream. Yeah, something like that. And I should change this as well. So we've done that. So we've done action, action name, delays. I told you about the on date, the name. So this is a name that will appear in their email from the email, obviously your email address in here, and if you've got a custom domain or a specific domain, then you make sure that it's inside here. Remember the rule about making sure that the emails are authenticated in the system as well. I've got videos on that, so I'll put a video in there so you can find out about email domain authentication, which is a really important part of sending any emails out. So once you make any changes, again, you're going to hit that save. We're still editing, so I click no, and we can move on down. So now we're going into the mail subject and the mail content. Okay, so let's go in here and let's just personalize this to make it for them. So I'm going to put dear, and then I'm going to put a space. I'm going to use personalization, so I can choose their first name because they will have entered that when they registered. So I've put their first name, and then I'm going to put welcome to the Zenstream. Okay, something like that. So now it's going to be personalized. So if I click save changes, not turn it on, I want to just have a look how that looks. So I'm going to go preview, and you're going to see in here that you've got this preview happening. It doesn't give you the title preview, but you can see that when you do a test send. So you've got the option to actually preview this text, and you could do a test send yourself down here as well. So moving on, personalization in here. I've shown you how to use that, shown you why it's important to change all these things and set all this. So we're now moving to the main part, which is the body text. So you'll see in here, we've got a load of things in here. The most important things to leave in are this bottom section here. The rest, I'm basically going to take all this and I'm going to delete it all out. So it's empty. There we go. So now I'm going to start from scratch. So I'm going to put my little logo in. So I'm going to go to images. I'm going to choose my little Zenler logo, which is in here, and choose that. I'm going to leave that, make that a bit smaller. And now I'm going to move on to composing my email. So this is the email that they're going to receive. So I'm going to go dear. I'm going to drop in some personalization. Just go in there, just pick the full name, and then put a comma, and then thank you for signing up to the Zenstream automation live course. Okay, something like that. So we can then give them further information. So I'm going to go, your email is, and then I'm going to add a personalization in here. So we're going to choose their email that they used when they signed up, which is there. Okay, and then we're going to go to enter the course, visit here. So you can write whatever you like, take your time with it, write it. We're going to test it, it's all okay. So they're going to enter the course. So you notice in here the personalization fields, we've got first name, last name, full name, email, course name. We got the course sales URL. Probably don't want to send them back to the sales because they bought the course. Course access URL, course player, that's the curriculum. Okay. Mailing address, we definitely want the course access URL in there. Okay. So I also want to put in here, instead of this, you see, what I could do is I could drop personalization in there. So let's have a look at how it is at the moment. Let's click preview, and you're going to see it's giving you the actual address to go into the dashboard of the course access. It's given them the email address in there, which is cool. And this bit we typed in, but I'm going to swap this for some personalization. I'm going to click in here to select it. I'm going to go personalization, and I'm going to go course name. So now let's preview it. So it's giving me the course name now. You sign up for automations. This is the name of the course. So we've got that. So let's put, after this, let's put course. So now it's going to say automation course. So in there, automation course. So it's all pulled in from data that you've already got. So this is enough to send out to someone as a welcome. So see you in the course. Okay, and it's the standard WYSIWYG editor, so you can just change things around if you like. And I'm going to go all the best, and then say David there. Okay, and then probably bring that up. So it's very, very quick, simple email. It's going to be easy for them to consume and understand, and that's good. Now I'm going to click save the changes. So I'm going to make it live if I want to, or no, let's make it live. Apply to existing students. So this is really important. If you're changing your automations, if people are already in your course, then you might want to send them a new email of the changes that you've made. So if you've got 100 people in your course and you click apply to existing students, yes, they could receive this email again with the new information. So if you think about it, it could be used almost like a newsletter in a way. I probably use email broadcast, it's just better. So generally you don't send it again an email welcoming them because you already have. So I always click no unless there's a specific reason, okay, like you've made a mistake inside here, you forgot the course access URL and everyone's shouting at you, like, how can I can't get in the course, there's no link to go to, then you might click yes. But I don't see, unless there is that kind of problem, I don't see clicking yes for people that are already in there. So I always tend to click no. But I haven't got anyone in this course anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So what would the next phase be after this? Well, you'd want to test it, so you need to send this to yourself to test that email. So I'm going to put in here David at Zenler, and then I'm going to check that this email goes to me, and we're going to check what it says. And this is what you should do every single time. So you preview to check, yeah, make sure that's all right, and then you send a test when you think, yes, I'm ready. So I've flung that test out, and I'll go and check my email box and see whether it's been delivered. Now, right down the bottom, you're going to see something called filters. So this is a way of filtering. We're going to talk about this later. Once you've got an understanding of all the different actions, we're then going to move on to the filtering, which works the same throughout all of the actions, okay? So let me check the inbox now and see that this email has arrived to me. And here we go. So it's jumped into my inbox, and you can see that it's all set up nicely. There's a couple of little things. Some of the styling issues are out, so I probably need to just jump in, just change some of this. So you can actually just go in here, select the font, and just double check these sizes. Just make sure. I'm going to set this to about 18 inside here. And by selecting across all of them, it will make them all the same font. You can also choose the font type as well. So I'm just going to go into something like an Arial, and that would suit me better. So I'm now going to just do another test send again, just to make sure that's all going to work. And I'll check my mail. So as you can see now, because we've run a couple of tests and we've changed that size, everything looks perfect in here. We have our links, they all work, and this looks really nice. So that is how you can test from here. Making sure everything's matching. Now, definitely if you're going to change these font sizes and stuff, make sure that you are remembering what font sizes and what font type you chose. So I've chosen Arial, I've chosen an 18 size, and I've put the text color into a black, okay? So that's what I've done. I'll make sure that follows through on all the other emails that I create as I'm going through those. Just a little bit of advice for you to keep everything consistent for your site. So we've been through all of the send mail actions. So let's just have a look at how you would create one from scratch then. So if we're going to take this, we'll just go to add action. Remember, you can delete any of these actions out. And in fact, I'm even going to delete this drip day 2 one out, because drip day 2, all it is, let me just save this. All drip 2 is it's just going to say in here, go out from 1 day after. So you're dripping this content out. It's been 24 hours. So you can see how it works. You can just set this in here, but it's still a send mail. That's the type. Look, you can see up there it says send mail. So it's exactly the same type. So I'll just delete that out just so that it clears everything for us. So that is the send mail. So to add a send mail, you just go into send mail, and then it will come up here as untitled action. You can then set the amount of minutes and basically go through what we did. So you can go send mail to, let's say, a week later, so a week from when they signed up. So you can go here, days, and then just put 7 in there, and that would go out 7 days from enrollment. So then you'd fill it out as you normally would. But notice when you create these new ones, it doesn't give you loads of text in here like the original ones. So it's worth reading that text anyway. So that is the send mail action. So let's have a look at what some of the other actions do now. So adding a tag, this will basically add a tag onto the user. So I'll show you this in action, and remove a tag. I'll also remove a tag. So if a user comes in and he's got a tag, let's say the tag name is special offer 1. If then they've already got that tag on them because they've come into a funnel or something and they've got add that tag special offer 1, and then you choose remove a tag and you remove a tag special offer 1, then when they come in to enroll for this course, that tag that they're tagged with will be removed in here. So that's the difference between these two. We'll set this tag up and then I'll set the remove. I'll show you how that works. So the next one we got here is send a webhook. Guys, like if you don't know about webhooks, it's basically sending data or information out of Zenler into another platform like Zapier or Pabbly, where you can then process it. So an example of a webhook might be to process it by Zapier and send that information about the user into a Google Sheet, for instance. That's how it could be used. There's a ton of other different uses for it. I'm not going to go through every case study of a webhook because there's literally hundreds of things you could do with webhooks. Okay, now the last one here is notify admin. This is really quite good, because this means that if you put notify admin, then when someone enrolls for your course, you can actually get notified of that as well, because at the moment you would not get notified that someone had signed up with those system emails turned off. So this is a good one to use. So we'll work through them. We'll go and we'll work through the add tag next. So we'll continue with that now. Okay guys, so now we're going to look at tags and why they're important. So tags are adding a kind of reference to any of your leads, your students, or any of the roles. So if you look in the all students here, I've got lots of test students set up, and you'll notice that I have one tag in there. So this tag in particular was for imports that I brought in March, for instance. These are just test students, they're not real students, but it just shows you how the taggings appear underneath site and then people. So how can we add a tag when someone joins a course? It's really easy. We're just going to open up our automations from inside our course, okay? And all we're going to do is we're going to come down, we're going to go add tag. So now we can add this. So I'm going to say new, okay? I'm going to call it new Zenstream, and then I'll reference. It's really important that you make sure it's a name that you can identify with easily. So I'm going to put that, and I'm going to put tag at the beginning. So I always like to put the tag inside of the name of it so I can just see it quickly. So I'm now going to copy this part of the tag, and now I'm going to add the tag in here. So I'm going to press Control V. You'll notice that tags come up that you've already put in. If you haven't put any, don't worry. So once I've done that, I can just click Save Changes. All right. So this action is currently paused. You want to make it live. I'll click yes in this case. Apply to existing students. Again, if you've already got students in there, you don't want them tagged, then you click no. But if you haven't got students in there, then you could click yes or no. It doesn't matter. So why would you apply a tag to students, new students, and not existing students? I'll give you a case study. You've got students coming in April. Okay, so they come in at April. You might have tagged them with April. Okay, and then you set up a new tag. You remove the tag. You just delete it out of the automations. And you set up a new tag, or you change it to May. So this way you would be having students. You wouldn't want to apply the May tag to existing students, would you? You only new ones. So in this case, you would click no, because you don't want to apply it to existing. You only apply it to new. This way, new people that come into your course in May will have that new tag. So this is just one way you could use them. There's a million other ways, but I'm just showing you a case example of apply to existing students and how it can work for you. This is the same for all of the other actions that you can add inside automations. So with this case, I've got no students in here, so it really doesn't matter which one I click. I'm going to click no. And now this tag is going to be added. So you can see in here, you can also set when that tag's added as well. And you'll notice the order. This is 1 minute from enrollment. The welcome email goes out. But I've set this on 0. Doesn't matter, 0 minutes, 0 days, 0 weeks. It really doesn't matter. But I've done that so the tag is added straight away. Okay. So you know exactly. And you also see here, it says add tag and then tag. And it says new hyphen NZ hyphen and then student. Okay, so you know that that's a tag. So that's why I always put it in here. I don't just put tag because I don't know what the tag is, so I can look and quickly see it. It's just a little speed saving technique for you. You can see that the action is live. You can always turn this off. You can just click in here and apply to existing. Again, the same thing applies, no or yes. And in this case, it doesn't matter. So you can see I've paused it again. And again, I can make it live. And again, apply to existing, yes or no. Okay. So that's how to add a tag. So when those users come in now, they will be tagged here. You'll see the tag come up inside here. So let's test this out and make sure it works. So I'm going to sign up as a test student. I'm going to show you a quick way that you can just do that without even having to go into the admin side of anything. Okay, it'll automatically do it. So we've got our welcome email. This goes out 1 minute after they've enrolled or bought your course. But straight away, as soon as they've bought your course from enrollment, they get tagged. So this is what I said. I always do a welcome email and everything like 1 minute after, because I want an action of applying a tag, just in case the welcome email goes out or you set something else up and it doesn't tag them in time. So I give myself a little bit of breathing space with 1 minute. Okay. So that's why I do that. So let's now test this and see that I'm tagged with this new tag, new NZ student. Okay. And then I can test the removal of that tag as well and show you how that works. So I'm going to go quickly and just set myself up. I'm going to a little time saving technique here. Have the tab open, and to not lose this tab. Okay. Just right hand click on where you want to go, and then go open link in new tab. This will open a new tab here and means you can get back to here really quickly. So I'm going to go into all people here, and I'm going to add a new user. So I'm going to go add a user, and I'm going to type the name, email address. I'm going to put the role of student. I'm going to add them to the course, and you're going to see that because they're added to the course, automatically they'll get that tag. Okay, so I've added my name in there. The role I'm going to pick is going to be student. I'm just going to leave the password like that. And we're going to enroll them automatically. At the moment, I don't know if I want to enroll them as, I'm going to enroll them as students. So I picked the student role, and you can see here, inside here, when you're manually setting up a user, you can easily go select the course and any funnels or bookings. You can put them into it straight away. So I'm going to choose this course, and this course is, I need to publish the course first. Sorry guys, 2 seconds. To be able to add them, I need to publish this course. So I've already set up a basic curriculum in here. So I've published this course now. So I'm just going to refresh this page so I can just put it back in. Okay, so remember, if you're adding a student in here, you need to publish that course to test it. Okay, so I'm going to come down to courses. I'm now going to choose the automations course. I haven't got a plan set up for this course yet, pricing plan, but I'm just going to click add. And what you're going to see is I'm now going to be added to that course. But notice the tag there, NZ student. Okay. So I have that in there, and it's been pulled in from there. So I will now have received a welcome email. Just check my Gmail account, and I should have received this welcome email 1 minute later. You know, the one that we just set up earlier. And there we go. We've received our email through there to get into the dashboard. So that'll work. So let's have a look at how now we can remove a tag. So if a student comes into your site and they've got a tag like this, we can also remove them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove myself as a user, and I'm going to re-add myself in. So I'm going to go to courses. I'm going to go down. I'm going to unenroll myself. I'll still keep that tag even though I've unenrolled myself. Okay. So let's go back. Let's have a look. You can see I still, I haven't got that tag. It's removed it because I'm removed from the course. So let me just add that tag in manually, and then I can just check it. No problems. I can just go in. So you might have tagged someone coming into a funnel or something like that, or they might be on another course and you might have tagged them. So I'm just going to check that I can just add that tag in there. So I'm going to go into here and add that tag. There we go. And I'm going to click update. So now I will have that tag applied. Here we go. See it? There. I'm not in any course at the moment. You can see under my courses, I'm not in any courses. Okay. Not enrolled. Okay. Let's do the remove tag then. So I'm going to temporarily turn this one off. I'm going to go, here we go. Let's just go turn that off. Okay. And I'm going to go to remove tag. So remove tag. So once again, I'm going to put the tag in there. So it's going to remove this tag now. And I'm going to go remove or tag remove, and then I'm going to put the tag, okay? And then I'm going to click save, and I'm going to make that live, and let's just click that. We haven't got any students in there. So now I've got the remove tag, so tag remove NZ student. So let's go and see if that works. So I'm back in here with all my students again, and say this student goes in and buys that course that we just set up for the removal, and they've got this tag here. Let's go and add them. You're going to notice this tag will disappear because it will be removed by the automations inside here. Simple. So let's go and edit. Let's go to courses. Let's go and add myself to that course. Automations. We haven't got a pricing plan. We're going to click enroll. And now we've enrolled. Let's go back to all. And you'll notice that I have been removed. The tag has been removed. That was removed by the automations inside of here. Okay, so this is basically how tags work: tag adding, tag removing. Okay, so let's move on to the webhook part. So webhooks, this is all about webhooks, right? So webhooks are a way of sending data out. With webhooks inside Zenler, we send data out. It doesn't pull webhook information in. Okay. You can use Zenler's API, and I'm not talking about that, about pulling information in, okay? So we're talking about webhooks, we're talking about outgoing data. So why would you use this? Well, if you wanted to use something like Zapier that has the ability to process a webhook, actually create a webhook and process that, you have that ability to be able to send data information about your students out of the site into Zapier to be processed, to be put into something else or processed in another way. An example of this could be a user signs up for a course, and then the webhook fires to Zapier, and Zapier takes that information about the student and puts them into a Google Sheet. Okay, this is the simplest form of how it works. When you create a new webhook, like we did just now here, send webhook. Let me just delete that out again to show you exactly what's going on. So we go add action, send a webhook. Let's send an outgoing webhook. It'll ask you for certain things. Let's just call this Google Sheet. Okay. And inside here, it will ask you for a hook URL. Again, you have this option to delay this, send it on a date, or send it by time. The same as every other action within here. So, but it's asking for a hook URL. You need to have a hook URL. So you're sending information out. So Zapier has got webhooks built into it. So you can actually use that webhook and put that data in there, and it will send it out and process it. So that is how webhooks work. Okay. So let's have a look at Zapier now. If I go into Zapier, I've just created a quick test here. So you'll notice inside here you can change these, and I've also got a spreadsheet. So I've got this spreadsheet I set up on my Google Drive that I will connect the data to. Okay, so it says connect with Google Sheet, so you can sign in. So I'm going to sign into here, and then it's going to ask me to go through the process. I'm going to allow, and that's going to connect, and now I need to just put in where it's going to go to. My Google Drive, I need to choose the spreadsheet, so all my spreadsheets will come up. I'm just going to click webhook test, which is the one I set up, and choose a value. Let's just put it into sheet 1, so that's worksheet 1, and that is good. So it didn't have any headers, just refresh the page. Let's just put a header in there. Okay, I've just set a header up, first field where it's got the name and the email. That's what I want to capture. So I can go back to Zapier, let's just refresh. So it's going to ask me for the data that I'm going to bring in. Just double check this. Name, email. So I got name, email. Good, good, good. Okay, so going to go into here and copy this trigger, And this is the copied URL for this trigger that I want to put into here. Just going to save the changes. And there we go. That's my webhook set up. So I just run a test of this. As you can see, it's got the information in here. This is the information it has pulled in from Zenler itself. And you can see that this would be put onto the Google form. So this is how webhooks work. The Zapier, you could use this and you could tie this data that you've pulled in from Google, from Zenler. You could tie this webhook data, and these are all of the settings that it will bring in, and you can put those into a Google Sheet. You could send it to another thing for processing, mail systems, everything that Zapier could offer inside here. So this is basically how webhooks work. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on it because it's assumed that if you're using a webhook, you know what you're doing, okay? But it's very powerful. If you use the correct way, it's very powerful. So that is webhooks inside here. I'm going to delete this one out now. Don't need that anymore. Yeah, don't ask me questions on webhooks because it is outside. You should know about webhooks. I've told you, all a webhook does is send data out from Zenler to wherever you want to put, wherever the information is going from. So you need that webhook URL from whatever you're using. Lots of systems use webhooks. They'll create that link for you, and if you need to know about those programs that you're using it for, such as Zapier, such as Pabbly, etc., etc. There's a lot of programs. I can't talk about other people's products, obviously, but we send webhooks out, the data goes out, and you can do with it as you wish using the webhook facility. So the last one I've got here is now notify admin. This is a really good one. So I've added notify admin. Now this is good because I want to be notified of new students. So I've put notify in here, notify me. I'm going to send this out straight away, and I'm going to say, hi David, and this is going to me, no one else. You have a new student for, and then I'm going to use automations inside here. So I can use the course name, their email is, and then I can start to personalize this up myself. Remember, no one received this apart from you. And name is, let's put their name in there. You can put the course URL if you need all that stuff. You've got more fields in there. There we go. And cheers me. But of course this could be sent out to a VA or something as well. Anyone that's got that admin right position in there, you could send that out to them as well. So it's quite powerful. You can preview this and test it. So this has been tested. There we go. You have a new student for automations. My name is David, blah, blah, blah. And then you could send a test out to yourself. So now whenever someone enrolls for this, let me just click Save Changes and turn it on. You will now be notified by email that you have that student. So this is a really powerful thing to use. So I might want to put course at the end there. Again, definitely run tests, check that it works. Unenroll your student from here and then sign them back up again and see that you're receiving that admin notice, see that you're receiving those emails through the system. So very powerful, and that is notify admin. So the last thing we've got to look at now is filtering. So filtering, you're not going to have the option of adding filtering to the notify admin or even the remove tags. So actually you can on remove tags, you can add filtering there, but the principle of advanced filtering is exactly the same. So now we're going to look at the last part, which is advanced filtering and how you could use it. So even if you don't use it, it's good for you to know about it, because there will probably be a case scenario where you will want to use advanced filtering. So I'm going to explain all of that now. So it's going to take us to the last bit of this Zenstream. So, enjoy. This is the last bit. Once you understand this, then we can then quickly go through the live and the marketing automations, which are exactly the same, just some slight differences, but nothing major. Okay, let's move on to the last part, which is advanced filtering. Okay guys, so hopefully that was a lot of information, I know, and you might be like, oh, my head's a little bit fried, but just break it down into the send mail, notify admin, there's webhooks in there, tags, remove, all these things. So you can just take it in stages and use what you need to progress through. Now, we have had a few questions come in. Most of them have been answered in the chat, which is great. But we did have one from Advancing with English. Sorry, I don't know your name, so that's obviously your business name in there. So, and it was about what's the difference inside the personalization where you see course access page or course page, and then you see the course player or the course access page, the course player, course curriculum page. I just want to show you the difference, because one is the actual curriculum or the course player itself. A little bit fried. Advanced with English asked the question, so a little bit fried. Yeah, exactly. But it's all right. Once you get it, you get it. And the great thing about it is, yeah, it might fry your brain a little bit. Go through it slowly, but once you get it, you can use that same information, like I said, for marketing funnels, or any lives, and the filtering part that we're about to look at last of all, which is more of an advanced thing in a way, but that will help you with filtering things like your email broadcasts going out to certain people. So you've only got to learn this one area, and there's not much to learn. We haven't got many actions in courses, so it's not a lot to learn. It's just understanding how it kind of relates. And I'm showing how to test, and although it's recorded content, it's at real time. I haven't skipped any steps, I haven't fast forwarded. You've seen Zenler working at real time, so I've gone through every single one of them. So Hannah's put, I have no idea about webhooks yet, but it does only go to Zapier. No. Webhooks, you'll find them across lots. This was asked by Billy on the Facebook group as well. Webhooks you'll find in lots of applications will accept webhooks from outgoing data sources. So some of them allow ingoing and outgoing, but we do have the Zenler API where that can take information in and spit it out as well. A bit like a webhook, but a pumped up steroided version that's purely with Zenler. But guys, don't think about that. You don't have to complicate yourself with webhooks or any of those things until you are at a stage where that's going to help you. You can ask on the group. So if you ask on the group, how do I do this? I want to get it outside. People might say webhooks, and then you can start to investigate it. But until you're up to that stage, keep it very simple. All right. Even with the emails, even with the automations in the emails, don't go overboard. Don't try to do too much with it if you're beginning. Just build it up in stages. Really, to be honest, like my courses, most of them, I just have a welcome email that goes out to them. And I just send email broadcasts out to them whenever I've got something to talk about or say or get them to go into a new course. That's all I do. I don't complicate things at all. But some people need to do that. If you're running a membership site, then you might want to track when people are coming in. You might want to tag them by month, or some people tag them by year to separate them out. So in that case, you're starting to build your experience. You're using tags. You may be doing multiple emails, so you want to check how people are doing. When they finish the course, you might want to give them a sell to the next step, which you should be doing as a marketer. You should always be looking at a next step to take people into that's going to give them value. So build these things up slowly. Don't get too overwhelmed by it. Honestly, I promise you, it's so easy once you get used to it, because it tells you, oh, from enrollment, this is going to go out a week later. From enrollment, this is going to, and you can test it all. You can test it all. So it doesn't have to be a killer for you. Honestly, it's not that bad. Right, so advancing with English, I just want to cover it quickly. She's talking what in personalization, what is the personalization for course access and the course curriculum, or the course player, which this says player. So I'm going to quickly show you that now. I'm going to go into my screen share, and here's my little screen share here. And basically inside of a course, you've got pages. So this is your course access page. So if I just preview that page now, you're going to see it. So notice that it's the last page in the funnel sequence. So they go through the sales page, they pay for it in the checkout page, they get a thank you page saying thank you for the payment, and then that page will redirect them to the course access page. This course access page is a completely private area. However, you're not seeing the course player or the course curriculum player, but that is actually generated by your curriculum in the course. Okay, so it's not in here to format. And at this stage in Zenler, you can't format it unless you're using custom code like CSS. So you can send them directly to the curriculum page, or you can send them to the course access page. Just send them to the course access page. It's easier. Okay. That's my tip for you if you don't know about these things. So let's preview this page, this course access page. Here it is here. Here's the course access page. Remember, I can drop in any blocks in here. I can make it as cool looking as I want inside here. Yeah, but this is the course access page. This is the page that I can highly customize in any way I'd see fit. So let's go into the course player. So when you go into the course player, you're basically clicking any of the curriculum details. So we're going into course player now. This is the course player. Okay, that's the difference. This is where they can jump between your media types inside here, and they can see all these things inside here, such as ebooks, PowerPoint presentations. You know, this is a flipbook style for you guys that didn't know you could do that. So you can go and put this stuff in there. You can put audio in there. It's got audio downloads. You know, you can put all your stuff. This is the curriculum. Now, if you go back, and it actually says back to curriculum, but it's back to course access page. So we go back to the course access page there. So that is what that is in a nutshell. Hopefully that's helped you advancing with English. Put your name down. No. So yeah. Oh, Camille. Hi, Camille. Oh, Camille. Oh, it's Camille. You're on Facebook. Maybe. Where can you add an email manually for sign up and testing? Oh, okay. So you're going to see that in the advanced filtering. Okay, but you basically go into people. Oh, you're making me work today, Hannah. Oh, you skipping Zen Zone? Go on, be naughty, skip Zen Zone. So like to get into that area, then you just need to go to site. You can go down to all people, and you can manually add someone there. Okay, once you've added them, they'll pop up like this. Okay, and you can go to courses, and you can go in here. You'll see that I'm already in it, and you can see I can just add them to a course. Now, if I unenroll myself from here, because this one doesn't matter, let me just unenroll myself and unenroll myself from there. Okay, so to test it, I can go in and I can select a course. I can select the membership plan with that, and I can click enroll, and that's how I can test. But I'm going to show you that in advanced filtering anyway. But good question, but it's going to be shown in the advanced filtering section. I've got you covered. I don't just make this stuff up. Well, I do most of the time, but I try and get the common questions in. So that's Hannah, that's you answered. You probably shot off to, are you still here? Hannah, are you still here? Oh no, she's gone off to a Zen Zone session. Oh, we got advanced millions. Facebook didn't stream well for me, David, so I moved over to YouTube and it's perfect. Yeah, sometimes, you know what, Facebook can be a real pain with streaming things, but we're streaming on both, so you got the choice for our YouTubers. It's been a long time coming, isn't it, YouTubers, that we haven't been streaming to you guys for ages, and I feel really bad about it, but now we are, so that's good. Right, last part of this automations Zenstream is all about advanced filtering. Now, if you haven't looked or you don't know about advanced filtering, this is going to be a real eye-opener for you, because it allows you to really hone who's getting your mail. And I tell you about a case study. So if you like the advanced filtering, put woohoo or something into the chat. Yeah, because it is good. All right, let's get on with it. I'll open it up to questions at the end, and then we finish this Zenstream for this week, and I'll talk about next week, and I'll also talk about an exciting thing that we've just launched as well that you might want to listen to. Okay, I won't tell you anymore. So let's do this. Advanced filtering. Okay, we're going to talk about advanced filtering. So I'm going to give you a few case studies where advanced filtering will be really, really handy for you. So what does advanced filtering do? Let's start with that first of all. It allows you to filter exactly what you need to target one of your students or your leads. So this might be based on tags, it might be based on lives they've been in, it might be based on courses they've bought. So let's give you a case study of this. Someone comes into your site and they've bought the Marketing Made Easy course, okay? So then they buy the automations course. Now, because that user has already bought one of your courses, you can send them a completely different email than the ones where people have just bought or are new to your site. So if they've just bought the automations course, then they'll receive a different email to the person that's bought the marketing course and then bought your automations course. So this could be, so why would you use this? So let's give you an example. You already know that student, they bought your marketing course. They've shown that they're a fan of yours and they want to buy your next course. So you might want to word it differently. You might want to say, welcome back. I see you're buying my second course on automations. You know, that's the sort of email you could not send out to a new user that's just come straight into your automations. So you can use advanced filtering to filter out that they're not a new user and that they've already bought a course. And that's what I'm going to show you now. So let's look at case study number 2. And I'm not going to show you this because this first case study should cover what you need to understand. Say someone comes in to you running a promotion and you've got them coming into a marketing funnel. So you've said, at the end of this, you can sign up for my automations course and I'll give you a free PDF, a special welcome to this course PDF just for you for coming through my marketing funnel. Okay, so inside that marketing funnel you can tag them with something like free PDF, and then when they actually sign up for the automations course, you can filter them on that tag to know that they've come through the funnel. So then the email that goes out is specifically including that free PDF that you wouldn't send out with a normal sign up straight through the course. Do you see where I'm going with this? So quite easy, really, really powerful. Advanced filtering inside automations is also included in loads of other places in the site. So understand this one thing and you'll suddenly understand that, oh, I can filter people in my email broadcasts. I can filter people in my marketing funnels. I can filter people in my lives. So you might decide, like, you've got one marketing funnel and someone joins another marketing funnel and you might not want them to join that. You might not want them to actually go through that because you've already got them as leads. So you could filter them saying, you've already registered for my other funnel. Maybe reach out to me directly and send them a different email and don't actually send them into the funnel at all. Again, another way of using advanced filtering. So there's literally a million uses for this. I can't go through them all. I can only let you understand the process of advanced filtering. So let's have a look at it now. Let's see how this is all going to work. So I've got a user here. We're going to pretend that me as a user has already gone into our marketing course and I've tagged them in automations within that marketing course. So they've joined this marketing course here, Marketing Made Easy, and now they're going to buy this course here. So I want to make sure that they're getting a different email. I'm going to say, you've taken my Marketing Made Easy course. This is a great step for you now, and you know, you can be more informal with them because they're already part of your fan base. Okay, so we want to keep the people that are coming in new having the welcome email, the first email. So this is how we're going to do. We've got 2 emails going out. One is going to, for people that have bought the Marketing Made Easy course, they're going to receive the custom email for people that have already your fans, and new people coming in are not going to receive that, but they're going to receive the normal welcome email that we already set up. So we can easily do this based on tags. So here we go. So we got this marketing tag. This is someone that's coming to marketing course and they've been tagged with marketing course in there. Okay, now you understand that, and I will be referencing this again so it really sinks home for you. Now we're going to go into the course and we're going to set up the automation so that that works. So I'm going to right hand click and open the link in a new tab, just so that I can jump between these tabs easily, just to demonstrate what I need to for you. I'm going to go straight into the automations course. Automations course. I'm going to then go into automations, and we're going to set this up. So I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to go into and click any of these, it doesn't matter. Just to make things really easy, you can filter based on all these things in here. The only one that you can't is notify admin and the webhooks. Okay, and I think even in webhooks you can. So let me just make this really easy and just get rid of a few of these things in here. I don't need to have tags in here. I'm just going to delete these out. I just want to make it really so easy for you guys to understand. So we've already been through adding tags, removing tags. We don't need that. You know about that. You know about the notify admin. Don't need that. So we just need this welcome email. So at the moment, this welcome email goes up to anybody that signs up for the course. But we want to make sure that if it contains a certain tag, they do not get this email. So if it contains this tag, this welcome email does not go out to them. Okay, we want to set up a new one. So advanced filtering. So we'll come down here to advanced filter group, and we're going to go inside here. We're going to go add filter. Okay, let me do this again, guys, just so it's crystal clear. Yeah, inside this email, I'm going to put this, I'm actually going to put in here, new users. I always make things really clear for myself. If I'm looking back at the course, I know exactly what's going on. Okay, so it now says new users. All right, so I'm going to come down here, I'm going to go add filter group, I'm going to go add filter, and we're going to go, and it's going to be based on this, matching all of the following. So it's going to match all of the following. So we're going to say there's a lot of options down here. We can base it on lots of options. Notice also you can matching any of the following, matching none of the following. Okay, so you've got all, any, or none, and it's matching those. And by the way, guys, you can set up multiple filter groups. So this whole area is a filter group. You can set up another filter group if you want as well. Okay, so we're going to go in here. We're going to say, in this case, not enrolled in course, and we're going to select the course. Remember, it's marketing made easy. Okay, so this filter will say if they are not enrolled in this marketing made easy course, if they are not enrolled in that course, then send this email. Okay, so if they are not enrolled in the Marketing Made Easy course, then this email is okay to send. We're going to save the changes. What this filter means now is anyone enrolled in the course will not receive this email. We have satisfied the first criteria of how we want to set up the advanced filtering. Not enrolled in course. Okay. So the other way that we could do it is we could say if it's got a tag. So we could go into here and tag does not contain, and then we can pick the tag. Remember the marketing course. So this is a second way that you could filter them. So now the conditions are user tag does not contain marketing course. Now remember, our user does contain marketing course, so they're not going to receive this email. Okay, so first thing set up. So let's go to the second thing. Let's clone this. I'm going to clone this one, and I'm going to put marketing users, and I'm going to click clone. Okay, so I've now got a second email that I haven't turned on yet, and I can put something different in here. So I could put thanks, this is the second course you signed up for. Amazing. So I've put something different in here now, and I'm going to now set it up so only people with that tag get this email. So let's go down here, let's edit these filters because they're already in there, and I'm going to put user tag contains marketing course. Let's go to marketing course, let's click save, and that's it. I've now set up a very simple advanced filter system where these users only get emails if they are new and their user tag does not contain marketing, or they're not enrolled in a course, if you want to go that option. This one here tells them if they have got that tag, then receive this email. So this is a really good way for you to be able to actually filter your students. I notice this hasn't gone in here, so let me just put this in here again. I'll just put your second course with us. Okay, I'm guessing it's because I didn't save it. Got to be careful about the saving here. Just make sure that you always save those changes. We won't apply it to existing, and there we go. So we've got that. So use the tag contains marketing course, they will receive this email. And this one here, user tag does not contain. Again, like I said, you could do this with courses, like are they enrolled in a course, are they not enrolled in a course? All right, so you can also add other filter groups. So if I want to do some more filtering, I could go down here, I could add another filter group, and I could add another, and I could set this to matching none of them or any of them or all of them. So I could say enrolled in, so if I didn't want them to, for this particular one, I've got the user tag does not contain marketing course. I could also say that they're not enrolled in this course as well. So I could go membership course, and I could add that. So this email would not go out to them if they're enrolled in marketing course or they're not enrolled in the membership course. Then matching all of the following. So you see how this works. Again, test this stuff out. Just make sure that you are receiving it. So if I enrolled myself out and back in again, then I would get this second email, which is here. Marketing users. Okay, so it's because the tag contains marketing. So I can test that now by going into my students. So I've already got this in here. I'm going to delete, I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to unenroll myself from a course. Let's go into the course. I'm going to unenroll myself from the course, and then I'm just going to enroll myself back in. So let me just enroll myself in the automations course. And oops, sorry, I need to enroll myself in the other course as well. Marketing Made Easy, enroll. Okay, good. Let's just check myself out as a student. I've still got that tag, so I'll check my email, and I should have got that second email, which is this one here, this special email. You're sending course with us. So that should have been second, but you get the idea. It's a different email. So let's check our email account now. And there we go. We have received that second email. You're sending course with us. And as you can see, that's the same as sending course with us. So they've received, but they haven't received this email because they are part of that course. Yeah? You see where I'm going with this? They are part of the Marketing Made Easy course. So, because they're filtered, they're only receiving this second email. Yeah? Because they are in that course. And they're filtered. So tag contains marketing course, which it does. They don't receive that email. And that is how advanced filterings work inside here. So advanced filterings can be found in loads of places within the site. So if we go into email broadcast, for instance, even inside here you have this ability to go in and filter inside here, advanced filtering. So you can add advanced filtering groups inside here, and you can then select, they're slightly different in each thing, but they work in exactly the same way. So if for instance they're enrolled in a course, so matching the following, not enrolled in a course, and then I was to put Marketing Made Easy, then this email would not, once I save the changes, would not go out to anybody that's in Marketing Made Easy. Again, advanced filtering. If you go into any of the lives inside here and you set up a live webinar or live classes, let's go into one of these. You're seeing automations. Again, you're going to have that ability. Now, while I'm in here, I'm just going to skip over some of the actions that you've got under here. You can see here, if we click the action, you'll have the send mail, add tag, remove, add hook, web. So it's exactly the same as the courses. This is what I was saying to you. Down the bottom, you're going to have this advanced option for advanced filtering as well. So if we go into a marketing funnel now, and we go to one of these marketing funnels inside here, again, you're going to have those same options inside of automations. So what I love about Zenler is you just learn it once and it's in various places and you're very familiar with it. Again, we have advanced filtering down here, and within those actions we have send mail, add tag, remove tag, send webhook, and notify admin. Again, exactly the same. So inside here you can see the rules are slightly different. This is all on subscribe. Because it's a marketing funnel, that's all you want. And while we're on that subject, let me just jump back to lives and show you the rules for those as well, because we do have there are different rules in different things. So if I go to automations again, we go into one of these, then you're going to see quickly inside here that we have a rule on register. So courses give you like on lesson complete, on course complete, and just you know, enroll. But within these you just have the on register, and within funnels it's just on the basically on the opt-in. Okay, and that's it. That is how you can set automations up, with the added benefit of understanding how advanced filtering work, which is a cool thing to know about, because advanced filtering, like I said, can also be used for email broadcast as well. So that brings us to the end of this whole Zenstream, all about automations. So guys, if you have any questions afterwards, put them into either the Facebook group or the YouTube, and I'll answer them when I can. It's quite a fair subject to tackle as a Zenstream, but I think I've tried to cover it as slowly as I possibly can to make it easy for you guys to consume it. I would say that, you know, just come back, watch the replays if you don't understand anything, and test it. You know, you can also test yourself as a student if you set up a coupon. So if you've got a pricing plan set up for one of your courses, you could just do a 100% coupon. Just go in here, create a coupon, you know, just do amount, percentage, 100%, okay, and then put your coupon name in here, whatever you want to call it, description, and you choose the course. Let's just choose all courses, and then put a limit of 1, or leave it unlimited, and then you can just use that link and you can go through that process as a student. Okay, it's always a good idea to have a business email and to have a private email that you can test these things out as a student. And whenever you are testing anything out, please make sure that you're doing it all in incognito. So you're going to, and this is Chrome I'm using, but all browsers have private or incognito modes. Go to an incognito window and test it all out from there. Go through the process of signing up through incognito, and then check your inbox and make sure those emails are going to you. A little last tip I'm going to tell you is that if you have multiple emails going out over multiple days, obviously testing it would be a pain. So what you can do is, for the emails, if you have an email going out, say 2 days later, is just set them all to minutes. Okay, test them, then they're all going to go out in minutes instead of days or weeks, and that way you can check they're all coming in. And when you're happy with them, go back into the automations. Do not forget this. Go back into the automations and then put them back to the right enrollment time that you wanted in the first place. Okay, put the minutes back to days or weeks or whatever. Just make sure you do that before you say, right, okay, it's ready to go. Then what I like to do is do a final full check, and I check it out with the days. So I unregister myself. You saw how I can unenroll myself from a course. I re-sign up, and then I watch the days go by. You can only test all this stuff on a live course if you've published it. You can publish it quickly, and then to test the automations are going to go out, and then afterwards leave it 5 minutes, you know, or however many duration you left in here, then unpublish it. So if I unpublish this now, then no one can get access to this anyway. All right. So if you're worried about security, you know, guys, you can always come into all people, and where you were testing as a student, you can go in here and you can edit it. All you need to do to delete yourself out is go into here, unenroll. Just unenroll yourself from those courses like this, because you've seen the password for this, so you guys could get in. So I always do this. I go back and then I just delete myself out, and now you can't get access to it. All right, so that's how you can do it, just as a security thing, especially if you're producing videos like I have. You know, I put a password of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, so you know, it's pretty easy to type in there to get in there. So make sure you are deleting these out or use a more secure, not that you will be doing video broadcasts to the world about your site, but you know, security is a main thing here at Zenler, so just make sure that you are secure. So I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this Zenstream. I'll finish off by coming back live to you now and saying goodbye and asking you any last minute questions. Hi guys, welcome back. So yeah, that was a lot of content. Okay, there was a lot of information in there, so take it really slowly and sort of work through it. Okay, so advanced filtering, very, very powerful. The automation's really, really powerful. There's quite a few questions come in. So I've got Camille with Advancing with English. Little plug for you, Camille. What are ways that people become unenrolled in a course? Thinking about how the filter function, payment, failure, manually enrolled. So it depends. I mean, one, you can manually unenroll them. If they're on the subscription plan and they finish their subscription plan, then they will be automatically unenrolled from the system. The same for a payment plan fail. If their card doesn't work, they will become unenrolled from a system. If you have trial days set up and they don't pay at the end of it because they cancel or change their card details in their account, they will be unenrolled from a course. So a lot of this stuff is automatic that happens within the system itself to cover you. If they've paid for a one-time for a course, and your option is to give them lifetime access, of course you cannot legally unenroll them from the course, at least not without their permission. So because they've signed up to have it at lifetime, so maybe put a clause inside your terms and conditions. You know, you could say you have access for 2 years or something, and then get rid of them after 2 years if you don't want them in there, or you want to upsell them something. So it's really up to you, but basically the system will automatically unenroll them with there, but you can manually go in and unenroll them. You saw me do that in there. I just unenrolled myself from as if it was a student, so I could do the same thing there. So we have another one now. How about if you set a 3-month limit on a course access and they're still enrolled? Yeah, the same applies. So it's the same thing. If they run out, they don't pay for it, they don't get it. Simple as that. So if it runs out in the time scale, then you can get rid of them. But if you have them in a course and you've got a one-time, well, you can use payment plan and do it by the year. You can set it up however you want. But basically the crux of the matter is that when they reach, if they don't pay, the system will unenroll them from the system. Okay. If you're offering refunds, then you can unenroll them manually and then you can refund them, but that's not through Zenler, that's through your payment gateway. So either PayPal or Stripe, you can send a refund back to them and then you can manually just take access away. Okay, so that's how it works. Hopefully that's solved that. So I've got Billy on the Facebook group, and he's saying, I only knew about broadcast advanced filters. I never thought about advanced filters and automations. Yeah, it's exactly the same, Billy. So it opens up a lot. I mean, I showed you 2 case studies where that might be applicable, but there's actually hundreds. All right. So thanks for this info. I appreciate all the support, and brilliant. He loves the Zenstream. So it's good to see you here, Billy. You were supposed to be here last week, by the way. I just tell you off for that. You told me you'd be here last week, so watch the replay if you haven't. Great, guys. It's been a long one. I'm going to finish off now by posting a little link to a brand new thing that we've got going. We've started to produce a podcast. So this is audio podcast. So if you're in a car, you can watch it, you can listen to it, sorry. We're also going to start to put some videos up there. So we started our own podcast. So I'm going to put the link into the descriptions in here, and you can go and check that out, because you can put that on your phone while you're driving. Obviously don't hold it, just have it in your holder. And then you can listen to all these great tips. None of them are longer than half an hour. So you get these great tips. And what we want to do is create quick wins for you. So there might even be a podcast, Zenstream podcast, the slimmed down version, okay? As if it had all the bits taken off of it, okay? So it'll be a slimmed down version, more of a mini rather than a truck, you know? These Zen Zone sessions are like trucks. They're huge. But we'll give you a small Zenstream podcast that will be quick wins. This might help a lot of you with just one thing at a time. So when I do these Zen streams, I like to give massive value on what I'm teaching you as far as course creation. And I sometimes most of the time I go overboard. I'm trying to cut it down a bit to make it a bit easier. But next week we had Hannah asking about freebies, you know, where is the use for using freebies and these sort of things. And we'll cover that. We'll cover that in a week after, so 2 weeks time. But because that's more marketing, so I want to tie up a whole marketing, probably a month worth of marketing. So next week, what we're going to do is we're going to look at media creation. This is going to be so much fun for you. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to run a 4-hour session, and I'm going to do half an hour teaching you something, and I'm going to leave you 15 minutes to do your own version. And if you're on Facebook, I want you to post that image inside of the chat. Can't really do it in YouTube. So you could hop across and you could just post it in there if you want to. Or you can give me a Dropbox so I can look at it, you know, a location for it. So you could even put it into your Zenler site and post the URL in there. So that would be good. So that's what I want to do. So that's our podcast. I'm just going to show you our podcast. So I put the link in the chat. Let me just go to screen share. There it is there. This is our all new podcast. So we've got quite a few, and these are quite good. We got the welcome. We got top 10 tips, how to generate more leads. Superb one. 21 minutes, that one. We got AI technology, ChatGPT. Should we be scared? Woo. Right, AI technology, ChatGPT uses. And then we've got what makes a successful course creator. Okay, now there's more of these going in. We've got a lot more coming in. This is the start of our channel. Okay, if you've been to our Instagram page, you'll notice also that we have a new link tree that we created. All this stuff created on Zenler, of course. Well, not this, Spotify, but this is all linked in. So let's go to our podcast. We've got a free PDF for you guys. So I'm giving you something for free here. Yeah, so we got a 15 lead tips PDF. This is actually on one of the podcasts. Okay. So you got try, tutorial, Zen streams, Zen Zone sessions, support articles, blogs, and our YouTube channel in there as well. So I'm just going to put that into the chat there for you guys to have a look at that, just to grab that freebie of that 15 lead tips. That might be quite nice for you. And of course, we've got our podcast channel in there. So guys, I really hope that you've had value out of this. This is the main thing. You've had value out of what I'm teaching you today. And you know, kudos for you guys that have turned up. So there's a lot of you have turned up today. I've got Billy, I've got Camilla, I've got Amit in there. Sorry if I've missed anybody, by the way. Yeah, we got Billy. I know a lot of people will be watching on the replay as well. Camille's in there. Anna, I want a big shout out to Anna. Brilliant. Okay, so lovely guys. So I'm going to finish now. We're going to finish this Zen stream, and we're going to get on to media creation, the exciting world of creating graphics and moving imagery. Okay, and what will happen with this is, with this media side, we're going to move on to showing you how to use that media, how to create social posts for TikTok, Instagram, for Twitter, for Facebook, for YouTube Shorts. We're going to show you all this stuff in upcoming Zen streams. So you need to tune in next week so that you see the media design process. Okay, then I haven't got to cover it. I can get straight into the the meat and bones kind of side of things, so that I can show you how to do this sort of stuff that we're doing now. This is like a lot of this stuff's done in OBS. I'll be showing you how to produce social media videos using OBS. You don't even have to edit it. You can just run a couple of scenes, output it, whack it straight into your social media feed, bang, job done. You can take stills from that and use it for things like Instagram. All this stuff is going to be just, your mind is going to be blown away. And not only that, it's really easy to do. It's really easy to do once you understand it. Just like everything else, we're breaking it down into small bits. Remember how I talked to you about if you had a car and all of the bits are spread all over the place, there would be hundreds of bits, screws, thousands of bits, and you look at it and go, I'm not doing that today, and you walk away. But if you actually break it into components, put the wheel section together, the chassis together, the engine together, then you've got 4 or 5 bits, you put them in and you create a car. And your mind can change with that way of thinking, and that's what I want to get across to you guys. Hannah's off. She's off to a Zen Zone session. Remember to tell them about the Zenstream. Get people in. The more viewers, the better, because obviously it's just really good for me to see lots of viewers in here. We're building. This is only week 3 of Zenstream. I want hundreds of people in here. I want to be teaching this stuff to hundreds of people. So that makes my life good. There'll be lots of stuff coming in the chat, and I can answer a lot more questions. And remember, I'm live. I might have recorded content in here, but I'm monitoring the chat on both YouTube and Facebook. And I come into segues like this where I can answer your questions and show you things directly. This is priceless. I could be charging a lot of money for doing this, and a lot of course creators that are teaching platforms do charge you thousands of pounds. So it is in your interest to spend a few hours with me asking me questions if the subject is related to what you need. That's why Billy's here, you know, that's why Hannah's here, that's why Camille's here. You're ready to get information and understand and push yourself forwards as course creators. And remember, to be a successful course creator, the one thing that it requires is commitment. You know, it's not going to be like that. Lots of people have an idea and they try to give the work to other people and pay them to do it, but that won't be successful because they won't know every part of their business. You need to be handling this stuff yourself. It's not hard once you take it in these little steps. So guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you all soon. And for now, this is the end of, I don't want to say goodbye, the end of another Zen stream. See you later. Have a great weekend, guys.